Greetings, my dear Scorpio. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. Welcome to my channel. I shall be building a series of portals for you, 3 portals, including a bridge, to set up the foundation and to understand a theme or a challenge in which you can bridge across from one point to another. And essentially, this bridge will show a bit on what you are called to do, the calling, the path. Please take only what you will. Know that these are guiding forces. They don't have to resonate, but if they do, please take them with you. We're building for you the bridge first, the challenge. Okay. So, in the mid-month of June, for my dear Scorpio, the energy is pointing towards a type of ritual ceremony. There's something ceremonial about it. The uniting of forces, as well as coming into power, coming into connection, reconciliation, as well as betrothal energy. There is a fusion or commitment that is passed from feminine to masculine. The sword is passed, the sword of truth. The Queen of Swords relinquishes her truth and fuses. Okay, the Hierophant is also here. There's a union, but it's a union by the surrender of the mind. Okay, 7th house is activated. There's strong energy with companionship and the need to relinquish something on one end. There's a surrendering, a lowering of guard in order to create a union. Okay, this also has to do with something philosophical, something that you've learned, a fear that is released, or perhaps with the eclipse season, some sort of illumination. This also came up for Cancer in the reverse, I believe. So it's the moon in reverse. That's where you're coming from. Where you're going to is a calling. You could be giving the calling for another to surrender arms and to come into some sort of union with you. But there is something there's something very fixed about both of these, and it requires some form of surrender or sacrifice or release in order to find a union. Okay, this is after some form of death, or the burying of an idea, or the burying of a project. Releasing something through another rite. Okay, so 2 rites come in here, a calling and the release of some sort of fear, or perhaps the gray area between illumination and darkness. Okay, so this is a challenge for you. The challenge is to either make the call or hear the calling in order to approach a ritual. Okay, this is Scorpio's energy. I shall be pulling from the 1983 deck for the rest of your reading. This reading revolves around 3 portals. These are parallel realities that you may choose to jump in or out of. It really depends on your situation, on when you receive this information, and how you could use it to your advantage if you so desire. This is just for awareness, so please tap into that if you can. This is for the energy of Scorpio, mid-June 2020. First portal is open. There is a type of communication that wants to be made. It's close to being made. But it's also on the descent. This truth wants to come and pervade through all of the murkiness of mid-June. With all the retrograde energy, there is sort of a slacking, or perhaps a falling, some sort of falling descent. And this is just a pattern, a curve, and it's trying to reach an equilibrium, okay? Now, when it comes to this, it involves love and something that was cut out. In the process of this, there was impulsiveness, and there is the potential also for a bit of heartbreak. But the love still exists between the two, between the opposing forces. The anti-venom and the venom are the same. There's an alchemy here that is a bit toxic but also therapeutic at the same time, okay? And this has to do with the underscoring of this portal. So essentially, there is a contribution of two different minds, one of the higher self, the other of the impulsive sort of need out of impatience. A cutting was made, and this essentially severed something, but not fully. It severed one of the aspects of the two snakes, okay? One is dark, one is light. One is the venom, one is the anti-venom. And it's not our job to discern what, in this duality of the two opposites that unite to create harmony. It's not to question either dark or light. It's walking in between and understanding that there still is a connection that is very dualistic. And in the idea and the thoughts that you put into this connection, they're very they're very much based on truth as well as impulse. So there might be flashes of impulse when it comes to this love, this Two of Cups energy. Okay. Now, the person or thing that you're dealing with is essentially restless. Okay. So they could be the Two of Swords. They might have made some sort of cut. It wasn't very obvious, but there was an impulse, something they said or did, try to cut the connection, and it was because they couldn't control it. They were getting a bit influenced by the moon. Okay. But remember, you're called to do something. You're called to make some sort of union and to relinquish from the feminine side some truth in order to find this connection. Now, yeah, this person needs to rest. They need to chill out. But they're acting in impulse, and there's something about what they're going through that involves the grand patriarch, the father figure, and the father figure giving back to the past, something like this. It's a daddy issue. Something destabilized in this, okay? Something that is destabilized in this. And then therefore, there are a lot of emotions that are in a feedback loop on their end with their external world. They're venting or perhaps trying to give or forgive something in their external world. And it's making them very tired. But they still want to, they're hiding a passion for you, some sort of Ace of Wands. They're hiding this from you, okay? Now, you have a plan, and the plan is to really cut loose and to lay the burden down. I think you're more socially inclined and inclined to work with collective energies. Not only that, there is something that you mirror with the Great Mother and the Great Father, the father that nurtures, as well as the mother that nurtures through a knowedness, through some sort of exemplar, okay? There is, with your card, La Morte here, death, and time seems to be on your side. There's some sort of reaping that you have to accrue from your external world. There is transformation in this, as well as a realization that energy is not lost in anything. It is merely transformed. So there's something that you're transforming, and you have both of the major arcanas here, and these affect the Two of Cups. In that you could be trying to sever the connection, and because it's become a bit of a burden, or perhaps you're going through a transformation that involves a lot of time, therefore you do not have time, or there's something about connection here of a verbal nature that is being blocked because of something that you're going through. However, you still have the Queen of Wands here faced towards the direction. There is something, if you were to think about them, the more you think about them, the more you foster the connection. So you have to be aware of your desires and keep these in check. If this is something that has to transform, then so be it. If this happens, then the desire will change to a type of love, but it's love that is unconditional or perhaps conditionally tied to something that you feel is coming from your inner child towards them. There still is some gravity here, and once this person finds balance, they will be able to offer you something. But it's through a revisitation of a cycle. This person is very cyclic, so just know that there's something about the circumference of the love that they bring, that they're trying to give to others right now, so that they could live out some sort of nurture aspect. They're trying to give back to themselves first before they can give to you. Um, and they want to do so with method. I think you have the master plan though, so stick with that, whatever that is. Okay. The second portal is now opening. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. There's something that you are realizing in the mid-month of June. This is the second portal. That has to do with the detail of the situation, the practicality of it all. Um, there's an opportunity here for you to revisit a cycle. As you do this, if you choose to, there is a window. And as you gaze through the window, you may see uh, some sort of grander plan or perhaps some sort of master work that has been done here. But there's something about the details of that that are filled with emotional detail, as well as a type of detail that is not very grounded. Okay. Um, it's taken you a lot of hard work to understand a connection that is out of your control, and perhaps deep down inside, you know that there still is something to learn from this. Um, this has to do with a growth cycle and the energy that you're dealing with in the past self as well as in the past with someone else is very potential to come back and to essentially rework something that has been a source of great fear and anxiety. Um, there may be a chance for you to begin again, but it requires from one party the ability to finally heal from what has occurred. If this person is able to find strength and grow and become attractive in some sort of way, they will be able to attract you back in. So it's kind of got a Hoover effect. There's a gravity here as well. It's not manipulation, it's just radiance from something that is a bit lazy or passive. There's a method to what they do, and they're very fixed at what they do, but they also know how to speak. So there might be a type of communication about how there was some sort of severance or some sort of a feeling of betrayal, but then it switches, and then there's a master plan, or perhaps the the opportunity for cooperation, but only if you are vibrating at the proper frequency that they are. Um, I think your emotions will be awoken in some sort of way, and that would lead you into the path. But I think it would lead you into the path, but further beyond this connection to something else that is before this Empress energy, something beyond it, further back in time. And as you do this, there is going to be some sort of realization, a calling, and the ability for you to understand why something um, still has you in a type of hold, but at the same time, it's already passed. It's already gone out of your life. But it certainly is a lot of retrospection, a lot of emotions will be retroactive, and from there, a truth will reveal itself. Um, this person, though, whomever this energy is, whatever it is, there is a type of growth, but they're not going to really work hard at it. They're going to expect you to work hard at it. It's an expectation, but it's also one of a refined vision of a master plan that is based on the cooperation of resources. Okay, that portal is closed. For clarity, okay, there's a type of justice that this person is very righteous about, and yeah, yeah, it has to do with the search or quest for truth. That last portal, big time, and it requires you to essentially to either give up something or to completely embrace emotions that are still there but are ancient. And it's because of certain cycles or programs that you have in your subconscious that have extended throughout decades or lifetimes. Okay? Take only what you will. Please clear your mind, and I shall open the third portal. Okay, the third portal is now open. Someone is waiting, or a project is waiting, or something that you. There's a culmination point here, a structure that is based on great time and legacy from the past that has been waiting for you. This could be a family, this could be an old lover or a friend. Um, Anything, really. This has to do with a feeling of saturation in it all. Um, you are letting down your barriers finally to reach a culmination point. And there's something about you that gives to this situation. It gives from a place of non-expectation. There's something about you that is um, that no longer desires this in a certain way. You have found a wise way of going about things, but there's also a hidden anger or suppression of something. Um, it's as if you are making a peace offering and no longer expecting anything from this connection, especially romance. There is no possibility for that because of an anger that it should be realized. There's something here about the expectations of a romance, as well as the anger around the letdown of those expectations that are great. These are great expectations, but still, you are trying to make peace with this. There is an element of forgiveness with the expectations, and they were very great. Okay, this person who's waiting, they've got healing to do, big time, and there's something that they must do to find mental clarity, mental health, stabilization of that, as well as in their singleness, find the great lesson of Jupiter here, the great lesson of Bhagavan, trying to find a sense of philosophy that has to do with the um, uh, the ability to fuse various expectations into one truth. Okay. Um, they also expect for you to give this apology in some sort of way, but I think there's something about you that needs to let go of the past, as well as let go of the need for them to give back after this apology is made. There's something about it that's more of a sacrifice, and um, it's as if they are creating a lesson here, a lesson about expectations, choosing from those expectations, and realizing, okay, so the tens come up here. Okay, the 10 of Pentacles as well as the 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so that means that there's a very very intense ending here that has happened, and you are able to forgive this finally, and they will take this forgiveness and actually ascend in some sort of way. So you're helping this person. I think it's very beautiful, but there are no longer any expectations because of you just no longer desire this person, I think, which is very beautiful considering you are still heading into a type of union, one that involves the surrender of past modes of truth and violence, past modes of thoughts that no longer serve the situation. And there is an aspect of this night that is shifting towards the night of the Knight of Swords, which is essentially going to help you grow in a certain way, help you grow as well as um, understand that there is something that needs to be sacrificed here, and it's the expectations that you have with the past. Let it go, okay? That is what I see for the month of June. Please take what you will. I do appreciate your candor and your grace. Thank you very much, my dear Scorpio. Bye.